Multiple chains versus multiple coins. Ilya, Smagin, Waves. Lucas, Park, FLETA.
Hi, everybody. I am not John Matonis. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today, so I got dragged in to be the moderator of this panel. And it was kind of a very last-minute thing, so I'm not so sure exactly what the panel is about, but I've been told it's multi-assets versus multi-chain, and that's an interesting topic. So we have two people here today. We have Lucas from FLETA, and we have Ilya from Waves. Now, Waves is a project that's slightly near and dear to my heart because they started with some code that we wrote with Alex Cherpinoy, and they've done some amazing work since they forked and built a great ecosystem, a great platform. And FLETA is new to me, so it's going to be really exciting to learn what this is all about. So I suppose we'll start with Lucas. Can you tell us a little bit about your platform and what multi-chain means?
Yeah. Hello, I am Lucas Park, the CTO of FLETA. Yeah. Initially, our FLETA is some blockchain service platform that wanted to provide very high scalability and the general purpose the app application. As you know, the one chain has some limited capacity of transaction per second because the TPS is each chain has some capacity of the TPS. So we want to provide the multi-chain for providing very high scalability and some secure the TPS to each the app. So we provide the independent multi-chain, independent chain to each DApp. So each DApp is work independently with the main chain, except the interchain protocol. So we generate some Genesis context to DApp token in our main chain, and they can make own own main chain using our software. Yeah. And so we provide some microkernel that change or chain things and provide the integration of Solidity and provide the JavaScript with the SQL feature that provide the RDBMSs. So multi-chain is very highly required to provide high TPS to HDFs, we think. Yeah, thank you.
And what about Waves? Can you give us a brief 2-minute summary of that?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Ilya Smagin. I am lead developer at Waves. And a few words about the platform. It has been established in 2016. For crypto platform, this is a long term, although it's just 2 years, and from the regular perspective, it's a very young company. But initially, it was designed for issuing, creating, and circulating tokens, for trading, for speed, and it was focused on tokenization. Now, we move towards more programmable approaches. Recently, we introduced smart contracts to the system and explore use cases there. So I think this is what Waves platform does.
Okay. So we have a chain, and you can either have a native asset and issue lots of tokens on one chain. And so if a user comes in, when they download that chain, they're downloading the history of not only the native asset, but all the assets in the system. Or you have a multi-chain approach where I suppose you subscribe to chains and you only have one state. So I'm trying to drill down, what is the difference from a user experience between a multi-chain versus a multi-asset approach?
Yeah. Okay. In our system, multi-chain means just to give independent chain to HDF, so user can use that chain using some fee with their token. In Ethereum or other platform, it requires some fee using that coin, not that token. But because we provide some main chain, they can make some block generation reward, the mining reward. They can give some token economy, or they can make some own account type or transaction type. is very different. It will make a very different user experience because of some dev wanted to remove a fee, some dev wanted to using some our FLETA coin as a fee, some dev wanted to pay fee using their token. And also each dev, if each dev has doesn't some collaboration work, each dev doesn't have any some contact point on it. So sorry. So each dev, each user just can use their dev what they want. So user never have some confused on it.
Okay. So let's make this somewhat interactive. So we have this guy right here, Professor Aziz. There we go. You're looking. Okay, now he's paying attention. So let's say he wants to create a coin, Aziz coin, and he's trying to decide, do I have it on my own blockchain or do I issue it on a platform like Waves or an ERC20? So if he comes to you, Ilya, and says, I'm thinking about using Waves to launch my token, what's the USP of Waves for that?
Well, we need to understand one thing when we choose the system one over another, which gives us the most advantages for the businesses, for the use cases that we are trying to put on a blockchain. There should be benefits of using the technology, right? If you want your coins to be exchanged, to be traded, they should, of course, live on one chain. Otherwise, it would be just overload and burden on the information systems to interact with each other. So if you want your tokens to represent value like ICOs, securities, and be liquid, it's best to go with one chain and accept the issues of large, long chain and huge states and things like this. Because in the end, the value that the platform and the technology brings is important, not the drawbacks.
So do you have liquidity? So if he was to issue his token, is there a marketplace where he could trade his token for a Waves token and then sell the Waves token for fiat or Bitcoin or something?
Sure. Of course, in Waves we have everything. You can create token, you can trade it with Waves, you can trade it with other token, you can trade it against fiat and other cryptocurrencies. If this is important to you, of course, you can do it.
Let's say there's a lot of business logic attached with his token. Like, let's say it's a token to incentivize academic research, and you write a scientific paper and you get paid. So there's a lot of oracles and smart contracts and these types of things. Would that be well suited for your platform, or would we have to go somewhere else?
This is exactly why we introduced smart contracts to our platform, to explore more programmable approaches for the tokens, right? Because there should be some sort of border, some sort of edge. If you want your token to be very, very simple, this means very easily exchangeable and tradable and liquid. And if your token represents something else, like it has a lot of logic, it has a lot of restrictions, probably it should be a contract. Now, we are exploring the ways how we can mix these two.
Okay, so now make the case for FLETA. I mean, Aziz is coming to you and says, I want to be on your platform. So what can you offer him?
Pardon? Business sorry, pardon. Yeah. 다시. Yeah. Our FLETA, as I said, our FLETA is a blockchain service platform and wanted to provide the service-able blockchain platform. And wanted to remove the wall between modern development and blockchain development. So we will provide some developer portal that provide some automatically operation, automatically deployment, automatically generation some their token and their chains. So, and we also provide assistance developer to the apps using FLETA coin. So this is one of our business model. And second is if someone wanted to make some combine the apps, we provide the interchain protocol, like a big database or like some combination of API service. we provide some same interchain protocol to each DApp, so each DApp can gather some data from the other application that following our interchain protocol. So our main chain just probe and just secure that chain, that DApp has the correct chain. So it's just the DApp chain. DApp chain just upload their blockchain header to main chain. So interchain will be operate with very high reliability. So the uploading is required some FLETA because of is some kinds of transaction. So it will be consumed FLETA also. It also second business model. And third is because of FLETA support some interchain protocol, it can move the token, some DApp token to another chain. Not like some contract or things. Our account has multi-type balance model. So one chain can has multi-token, and it can be traded on that chain using smart contract. It means some smart contract can handle multi-token. So it means it can be service DEX on our chain. So our main chain will provide the DEX on our chain.
Okay, so we have about 2 minutes left, so I have a pressing question that everybody who has to deal with multiple assets or multiple chains, which is the concept of zombie tokens or zombie chains. In other words, tokens or chains that are issued but no longer used. There's well over 1,000 cryptocurrencies floating about, and the natural life cycle is if people stop mining them or stop using them, they tend to go away. But if they're issued on a popular chain like Ethereum or Bitcoin or something like this, they could just stick around forever as dead weight. So in your opinion, we'll start with Ilya, what is the solution to these zombie coins? Do you leave them around forever, or do you prune them out somehow?
I think the solution is should be driven by the goals. Do you need to keep the coins around all the time? You use the platform that keeps all the state and it's there forever. But if it just turns out that some platforms are out of steam and don't really have use cases for them, they will be dead anyway. Doesn't matter whether we apply some technical resources or thought processes here. If the platform is useful, it will live. If the platform is not useful, it will die out.
Right, but it's more of a question of competitive advantage. So will platforms that charge rent or prune tokens or sidechains off the system be more competitive than those who keep them forever?
Well, I think there would be a middle ground. It's not necessary to keep everything on chain. I think the blockchain will be used only where it's needed, and the applications that work over blockchain will be part off-chain and only part on-chain. So I don't think we'll really struggle the problem where the blockchains are too huge for our planet's computer power to process.
Okay. Unfortunately, our time is up. Thank you guys for being an amazing audience. Thank you, Aziz, for playing the game.
Sure.
Thank you, Lucas, and thank you, Ilya.
Thank you.